Welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna do the Pacific kickoff predictions. Um, I've gone through the spiel multiple times before. It's triple elimination, so we've got a lot to go through. Um, in my EMEA bracket, I said that I was gonna try and be faster, and it was still 18 minutes long. So let's actually try and be faster today. Just so that everyone knows, I've got my phone in my hand here to familiarize myself with the players and all the different teams. I generally know them, but there's definitely some cracks, and Pacific is one of my least known regions. Well, I really don't know much about China at all, but anyways, let's actually get into it. Our first match of the bracket is Nongshim versus Team Secret. Team Secret, it genuinely looks like they just gave up this year, right? Like they haven't made anything. I don't have they made even a single tournament aside from like lock-in. So yeah, I think Nongshim are probably gonna beat it. They stuck mostly together from their Ascension run, and I think that they're just a pretty good team. Zeta Division versus Full Sense. So for clarification, Full Sense is just the Talon roster from last year, right? Talon got cut because of money problems, I suppose, and now Full Sense are brought in. I think Full Sense or Talon last year was very good. They made, or no, they didn't quite make champions, but they were very good. So I'm gonna go for Full Sense. Now Veryl versus Global Esports is probably a closer game. Veryl won Ascension, or they bought the team that won Ascension. SLT won Ascension, but Global Esports made a couple of good changes. They brought in Frost, which is a very interesting pickup. And I'm expecting a lot. They also have Patman. Actually, the more I talk about this, the more I'm like, yeah, I think Global Esports are actually going to win this game. I'm a big fan of Patman. I'm a big fan of Autumn. Big fan of Frost. So yeah, although Veryl are a good squad, I think that they definitely have a chance to win here. I'm going to go for Global. DFM versus Gen G. I was watching Plat Chat, and Paperthin had a pretty good argument for DFM here. May and Akame are really, really good. He seems to believe in Cess as well. But Genji, Texture, Charon, they're both very, very good players. They lost Munchkin is the big thing, right? I think if they had Munchkin, they'd still probably be a top 4 team in the region. I'm still going to go for Genji over Detonation, but without Munchkin, I'm not expecting them to be top 4, right? T1 versus Nongshim Red Force. I'm definitely going to go for T1. They are the ones that got Munchkin, and it's such a stacked roster. Stax, Buzz, Munchkin, Meteor, and Izu. Genuinely a stacked roster. I'm expecting a lot from them. They were good last year. They kind of fell off near the end, but there was a lot of like internal turmoil, I suppose, and hopefully that's kind of settled down, and we'll see what happens. DRX versus Full Sense here. DRX still have a really strong team. They finished, is it 3rd or 4th in champs? They've got Freeing Mako, Bane, Hermes, and Hyunmin. So they lost Flashback because of he retired, and he was kind of going in and out of the team anyways. Hermes seems really good. He seems like he plays a very similar style to Flashback. And I really think that the DRX roster is just around Bane and Hyunmin, really. Yum. So I'm going to go for DRX over Full Sense here. But Full Sense, you know, they're very strong. And I'm expecting a lot from like Privy and Thai and everything. But I'm going to go for DRX. paperrex versus Global. We don't really need to talk about it. paperrex lost Patman, but they probably got the best replacement for him, which was Envy. And Global got Patman. But unfortunately, the team around Patman is just not paperrex, right? They don't have Jing, they don't have Forsaken, they don't have something, they don't have Devi. That's all there is to it. RRQ versus Gen G. RRQ got Crazy Guy, Munyet, Jemkin, Kushi, Zephyro. I'm a big fan of Munyet. I'm a big fan of Crazy Guy. He has one of the best clutches of all time, I think. On his tier 2, I don't remember. I don't think it was Bleed. It might have been Bleed. But I think I'm going to go for RRQ here. They were very good last year. Finished strong, just barely missed out on events. So yeah. T1 versus DRX. I'm going to go for T1 here, and then paperrex versus RRQ. Paperrex for sure. I think that Pacific is probably one of the easiest brackets to predict, quite honestly. There's definitely like 2 teams that are like upper echelon, and then a couple of middle of pack teams, and then some real stinkers, quite honestly. Just like the last video, I'm gonna skip the finals, the qualifying matches, till the very end, so stick around to watch and see where I predict them. Team Secret versus Gen G. I think it's just a straight up Gen G here. Team Secret, like I said, they kind of gave up. They have Sylvan, who was good, and Berserks was pretty good as well, but I just don't think that they're gonna make a splash. Zeta Division versus Global Esports, I think is a much closer game. Zeta Division actually did beat quite a few strong teams in Red Bull Homeground. I think they beat Fnatic and G2. And I think that they could definitely pull it out of the bag here, but I think I'm going to predict Global over them. Just for right now, I believe in Frost, I think. I believe in Patman. Udotan is also really good. So I'm going to go for Global. Now, Veryl versus Full Sense. I'm going to go for Full Sense here. Veryl, I think that they're strong, but they haven't really done much. They won Ascension, but Talon were winning in tier 1, right? So I'm going to go for Full Sense. DFM versus Nongshim. Nongshim have RB, Dambi, Francis Ivy, and X Ross. I'm going to go for Nongshim here, although I would not be surprised if DFM beat them here. Mei and Akame, especially. If they just take over a game, it's over. Gen G versus Global. I'm going to go for Gen G. Full Sense versus Nongshim. I'm going to go for Full Sense. I'm not really bringing in my my reasonings just because I want to try and finish at a reasonable pace. Gen G versus DRX though, I think I'm going to go for DRX again. They lost Flashback, but Hermes, like I said, he's still pretty good. I think they'll be able to implement him well. Full Sense versus RRQ. I'm going to go for RRQ, I think. Although, again, I would not be surprised at a Full Sense win here. DRX versus RRQ. I'm going to go for RRQ here, actually. Not any particular reasoning. I think DRX are strong. Termy's good. I'm going to just go for RRQ. Ooh, what's the heckity dooga? Okay, that was weird. Team Secret versus Zeta Division. This is where I'm like, okay, Zeta Division, if you don't win here, you're really screwing up, because Secret, although they have Sylvan, who was good, they really, like, come on. Come on, Zeta Division, please do well. Ever since you're running, like, the, pre-partnership era, you haven't, like, won a single game, please. Veryl versus DFM, I'm gonna go for DFM. I'm gonna go for Nongshim over Zeta Division, I'm sorry. At least you got one win, okay? And then DFM versus Global Esports. Did they already play? No. I thought that I had predicted them already. DFM versus Global. I don't know why I'm putting so much thought into this, because this is literally not gonna happen. It's like, there's no shot that this is what the bracket's gonna look like, but I'm gonna go for DFM just to give paper thin a bone. Nongshim versus Gen G. I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for Gen G. It's the texture factor, right? Texture is just better than every single player on Nongshim, I think. DFM versus Full Sense. I'm gonna go for Full Sense. I'm I'm also going to go for full sense over Genji. And I'm going to go for full sense over DRX. I think that they're going to have a huge resurgence in the lowers. And then let's go all the way back up to the top. We've got T1 versus paperrex. Now this is where you actually kind of need to lock in. T1, Stax, Buzz, Munchkin, Meteor, Izu. paperrex, Jing, Envy, Forsaken, Devise, something. I'm gonna go for paperrex because they're paperrex. I'm gonna go for T1 over RRQ though, because of the Munchkin factor. I think T1 should hopefully be able to dismantle middle of the pack teams. If T1 can't beat RRQ here, then I think that they should be slightly worried. Not terribly worried, because it's still kickoff, you know, everyone's still kind of figuring out what's going on, new meta shifts and everything like that. But I think that they should be slightly worried. Then full sense versus RRQ. I'm actually gonna have full sense go through here. I think that there's gonna be at least one major upset. I don't think that every single team that makes it to the event is going to be like a recognized name, right? Everyone, I think the majority of people would probably be like, oh yeah, T1 paperrex DRX are gonna go, or maybe T1 paperrex RRQ, or maybe T1 paperrex Genji. I don't think a lot of people would say full sense would get there. And I think if it's not full sense, I actually would go for Nongshim over Genji or DRX or RRQ. But I'm gonna go for full sense there. So we've got paperrex, T1, and full sense qualifying to the very first Masters, Santiago. Yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna do a China kickoff predictions because I just genuinely don't know enough about China to do it. It's at a time zone where I'm asleep. I don't even watch the Pacific games live, but I just watch like some of the more important games because they're interesting to me. Sorry, China, but you're on the other side of the world from me. It's not my fault. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you agree with my picks in the comments. We've got, like I said, full sense T1 paperrex. This is obviously not what's gonna happen, but yeah, have a good one. Peace.